welcome. I'm so sorry it's been so long. However, I have been doing that university thing and that is slightly more important. So sorry. Same time, I hope you understand. But we're back at it again. We're sewing and recording it. You know why? Because it's one of my flatmates' birthday and I've decided to sew him a bag. So here we go. I've decided to sew them a raspberry. Now you may think, why a raspberry, Emily? Why? And I say to you, because she likes the colour pink. That's all my justification, Your Honour. But yeah, that's all I've got for this one. The other ones had reasoning. Like, one of them is a cardiac physiology student, so I sewed her a purse that looked like a heart, because I know how to do that. And the other one, she loves squirrels, so I sewed her a bag that looked like an acorn. This one, she's Spanish. Yep. And she likes the colour pink. In my head it just made so much sense. So yes, here we go. So of course, the first thing I did was create a pattern piece, cut it out, and cut my material out of that pattern piece. I decided not to cut the pink bit of my pattern as I knew that I would need a bigger piece of material for that. So I decided, I'll just drape it in the end. Then sewed all of my pattern pieces together and then pressed them so my sewing was nice and crisp. I then used eyeshadow because I still don't own any sewing chalk to make these seeds, and I was filling them in with scrap material with bigger scrap material over the top. I shouldn't have used the black ones because the black kind of showed up in the end result, but it's not too bad. And then I draped on my material and then pinned it in place to be able to accentuate all of those seeds. I then did the strap, which I hate, but I decided to add some funky details. So I was going to add a little vine with some leaves. This is me making the little vine. I did some of it at home, but most of it was done at lectures and everything. But I obviously didn't really feel that secure filming in lectures because it feels a bit weird. I did in the end film in one of my lectures, but that was one that no one really turned up to because it was a revision one. However, the other ones I didn't film in. This is me doing the leaves. I don't actually own any embroidery thread, so this is just normal thread that I'm using as embroidery thread. And I don't own any embroidery hoops either, even though the embroidery hoops wouldn't really help here. This is me pressing it so that it would be nice and crisp. I then had to unpick a few stitches so I could put the actual strap in there. I pinned it in place, and then while I was on the bus I decided to sew a bit. This is me sewing in one of my revision lectures. The lecture wasn't that helpful because we do this lecture with a bunch of other health science people and their exam is completely different to our exam, and she decides the first half, which really puts me off the whole lecture, to talk about the exam, of which us midwifery students don't do the exact same thing as everyone else. So she's talking about what the exam will look like, and we're sitting there like, oh, but our exam won't look like this because we've not got this exam in the exact same way, just because we do it slightly differently and everything. Because I knew I could sew the body of the bag in lectures, I decided to pattern out. Well, I didn't really use a pattern, I more just kind of guessworked it. Decided to do the leaves and everything. I then sewed the zip in. I forgot to record the fact that I went around every single one of the seeds to make them pop out, but that's what I was doing in the lecture. I was going around every seed so that I could take the pins out, because we called it the death trap, because oh my god, did I get stabbed so many times by the death trap. Here I'm just sewing the leaves and doing the little stems of everything. Yes, I am in the woods. I was checking out where my placement will be. No, I'm not helping women give birth in the woods. That would be a strange concept though, and they should really try and market that. No, it was just the area I was looking around, and they have a woods nearby, so I decided to hop in the woods and sew, because that's what normal people do, right? Couldn't just stop at doing little leaf veins. I obviously had to do stems that would go all the way to the stem, and I added the stem in. I forgot to say about that, but I did that as well. It was then time for the lining layer, which I draped on, pinned it on there, and then sewed it. Obviously had to add some little beading towards the zip because why wouldn't I? And I added a little charm just for the fun of it. And yes, that is the next project I decided to work on, right next to the one I just finished. And yes, it was a gingerbread man because this was filmed very close to Christmas. And I did in fact finish the gingerbread man, and that's for my course mate. And it's done! Of course I'm wearing the same outfit and makeup. I'm breaking the delusion for you, okay? They're recorded at the same time. I already knew how the sewing would turn out. I had already made it. However, it is beautiful. It definitely is one of my favourite bags. Probably my favourite bag I've ever made. I usually hate the strap. It's literally my least favourite part of any bag. However, doing this detail made me love it more because I was taking my time, I was making sure that it didn't feel rushed, I was just adding this beautiful detail on it. And look at that top, so pretty. At first I was thinking, should I do it more like that, more 2D type thing, because I've done those before, like my strawberry bag, I can do that. However, no, I wanted it more 3D look, and the 3D effect, oh, it's so pretty. And look at all of those little ball thingies. The little seeds, which are not called seeds, they've got a special name, but I can't remember what it is. I was Googling it because it's interesting. But the little seeds that are not seeds, just so beautiful. I mean, it's heavier than my normal bag that I make because of the material that's in all of these. However, it's just so pretty. And by perfect chance, the material is the same colour as the outside. It's not the same material. No. I ran out of this material, had to get a new one. But luckily it's the same, literally the exact same colour. And it's so soft inside as well. For what went well, even better if, I think the even better if is maybe if I turned the handles so that the embroidery was like clearly seen when putting it on like this. And you don't have to, you know, adjust it a few times to make sure that it can be seen and everything. And then when you let it just sit, obviously it's not going to sit like that, it's going to sit more like that. So I could have just like added a few stitches and sewn it like that, but then it doesn't look amazing. I could have sewn it the other way around, however it would have squished it at the entrance, so I didn't fully see a way around it. But I mean, I could have done things to make it better. However, I'm impressed by this, so I don't care. It's beautiful. So yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you again. If I don't, then I've disappeared again. Oopsies. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye!